apart at all. George Lucas and Steven Spielberg had been friends for years. In the summer of 1977, while Star Wars was opening in theaters, the two took a vacation together to Hawaii. They spent time on the beach, and one afternoon, while building a sandcastle, Spielberg mentioned he'd always wanted to direct a James Bond film. Lucas told him he had something better. Tom Selleck. Selleck did a screen test and impressed everyone. Spielberg and Lucas offered him the role. Selleck was thrilled. He read the script in Spielberg's office and knew by page 8 that this was special. There was just one problem. Selleck had recently filmed a pilot for a television show called Magnum P.I. The pilot had been picked up and the director who survived on SpaghettiOs. Steven Spielberg was only 33 years old when he directed Raiders of the Lost Ark, but he already had a reputation. His previous 3 films, Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and 1941, had all run over schedule and over budget. Studios were wary. When he and Lucas pitched Raiders, Paramount agreed to finance it, but they were nervous. Spielberg promised this one would be different. He'd come in on time and on budget. To prove he could do it, he pre-planned every major set piece using scale models and miniatures. He blocked out the action before they ever arrived on location, saving hours of setup time each day. The crew loved it because they knew exactly what they were supposed to do. But Spielberg still faced challenges. The Tunisia location brought that wave of food poisoning that knocked out most of the cast and crew. People were dropping like flies, unable to work, some requiring hospitalization. Spielberg didn't get sick, not once. How did he avoid it? He refused to eat the local food. Instead, he'd brought along his own supply. That's what the director ate for weeks while filming in North Africa. Canned pasta for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It wasn't glamorous, but it kept him healthy and working while everyone else suffered. His discipline paid off. Despite all the challenges, despite the illnesses and the difficult locations, Spielberg brought Raiders in ahead of schedule and under budget. The film was supposed to cost around $20 million. It came in right on target. After years of being seen as someone who couldn't control a production, Spielberg had proven himself. George Lucas later told the studio executives that if you hire the greatest director in the world, making movies is easy. It was a vote of confidence in Spielberg, and it marked a turning point in his career. After Raiders, no studio ever doubted him again.
Thanks.
Full scenes. Getting that scene right was a logistical nightmare. Spielberg initially thought about using mechanical snakes. The special effects team built about 40 rubber animatronic snakes that could move on wires. But when they tested them on set, they looked fake. Really fake. Spielberg scrapped that idea and decided they needed real snakes. The production team started calling every pet shop in London and southern England, ordering every snake they could find: cobras, pythons, garter snakes, even legless lizards that looked enough like snakes to pass on camera. They brought all 3,000 to the set at Elstree Studios and laid them out on the floor of the Well of Souls. Spielberg looked at it and shook his head. But in the dimly lit chamber with the camera moving quickly, most viewers never noticed. Harrison Ford had to work directly with the snakes. Despite Indy's on-screen fear, Ford personally had no problem with them. In one iconic shot, a cobra rears up right in front of Ford's face. The two stare at each other, and then Indy slowly backs away. What audiences didn't know was that a sheet of glass separated Ford from the cobra. The snake was real and aggressive, sprayed venom at Ford, but the glass protected him. In the original release, you could see a reflection in the glass that gave away the trick. Later versions digitally removed the reflection. The scene required a stunt double for Karen Allen, who played Marion. Allen didn't want to stand among thousands of snakes, which was completely understandable achievement. The legacy that endures. More than 40 years after its release, Raiders of the Lost Ark remains a masterclass in adventure filmmaking. Film schools study its structure, its pacing, its visual storytelling. The opening sequence alone, the temple, the golden idol, the boulder, is taught as perfect cinema. What makes Raiders special isn't just the action or talented people